War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.
Welcome to Inside the War Room on War Room Sports TV. I'm Devin McMillan, and right now I'm here with my co-host, Jimmy Williams, B. Austin, and Packers superfan Matt Ogden. We're here today to talk about the Green Bay Packers while they're on their bye week. So we're going to get started with this one, Matt. We know the Packers, went into their bye at 6-3. They were on a 4-game winning streak. Now, when they started out the season 2-3, and then they had a little debacle with the replacement refs on that primetime game, were you worried a little bit that the Packers might not have it this year, or were you confident all along?
Well, I'm kind of worried, but I'm always confident in my team. I never give up. I always believe they could always get the win the next week, and always do better the next week, and overcome a lot.
Cool. Hey, B. Austin, now watching the Packers early on this season, there were a lot of pundits screaming that, the Packers just might not be that good. But like we just discussed with Matt, they went on that 4-game run. What are your thoughts of this team? And, just give us a little taste of how you see them when you watch them and what you see.
Sure. Well, I attribute the early struggles of the Packers to them having a heavy timing-based offense. They pass the ball a lot. Believe it or not, even if you've played with someone for some years, when you go through the offseason, timing changes a little bit. So they had to get their rhythm back, get their timing back between Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson, Jermichael Finley, and James Jones and Jennings and those guys. In addition to that, they were getting a little bit of inconsistency with their line play. So I think that those things have kind of sorted themselves out. You're dealing with a pretty well-oiled machine. And so as we've seen the season progress, they've only improved. So I attribute early struggles to them getting their timing and rhythm down.
Right. And Jennings is still injured. I'm not sure whether or not he's coming back after the bye week. But, Matt, how big is that injury? Speaking from a Packers fan perspective, does that injury worry you? Or, is Aaron Rodgers just that good with the rest of the guys that he has to pick up for anybody who gets injured?
Well, it's a big injury, but I feel like we could get wins because, over the past 4 wins, we did win without him. So I feel confident in our receivers we got, and I feel confident in how Aaron Rodgers plays.
Okay. Now, the Packers boast right now, which is kind of surprising, the 19th ranked offense and the 12th ranked defense. But we all know, even though that cliche is out there that numbers don't lie, you can be 19th, but that's all yardage. If your team is putting points on the board and they're winning games, then these ranks really don't even matter. But let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a minute, because he's playing at a clip in those last 4 or 5 games where, he's just catapulted himself right back up into MVP contention like he was last year. He's completing 67% of his passes, 2,383 yards, 25 touchdowns against 5 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 107.4. B. Austin, we talk a lot about Aaron Rodgers on our radio show. Do you think right now that he's the best quarterback in the league?
Yes. He's to borrow a term from baseball, he's what you call a 5-tool guy. There's really nothing that he can't do at an exceptional level, from playing the game cerebrally to the athletic talent, to understanding the game from an arm perspective, accuracy, arm strength. He can make all of the throws. There's just nothing that he doesn't do exceptional. I kind of call him affectionately Meadowlark Lemon, because it's like he's a point guard and the ball does what he wants it to do. So, that's kind of my take on Aaron Rodgers. He is playing at a very high level. He kind of combines John Elway's athleticism early on in his career, right, with Dan Marino's arm.
Wow.
Jimmy, you think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league? Or?
Listen, and this is coming from a guy who's a Denver Broncos fan, and most people would think that I would say Manning. I believe that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league, and I don't even think it's close. Some guys will say Breeze, Brady. Aaron Rodgers, to me, in terms of the ability he has, like Austin said, he can scramble, he's fast. His arm is a weapon. This guy's the best quarterback in the league. So even when they started off slow, I thought they would have a chance to, rebound, considering they have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, and then you look at some of the teams that they beat within this winning streak. You talk about two of the best teams in football, in Houston and Chicago. They both have one loss, and both come at, the hands of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So with him on the team, they're always going to be in every game, and they're always going to be contenders, in my opinion.
Right, and that I agree with you, fellas, because as you guys know, I've been high on Aaron Rodgers for a long time, probably before it was even cool to be a big Aaron Rodgers fan. But yeah, some of that poise that you guys talk about. I mean, I've seen Aaron Rodgers go up to the line, see a blitz, make his adjustments at the line, and actually smile at the blitz before he snapped the ball because he knows, what's basically about to happen. Let me go to Matt on this. You're a Packers fan, so everybody's expecting you to say that. But do you think there's a quarterback in the NFL better than Aaron Rodgers right now?
Not exactly, because like the way he's playing, like who throws 6 touchdowns in that game against the Texans? Like,
right,
it was like freaking amazing.
Brett Favre.
The Texans. That's one of the better defenses in the league. So that was pretty impressive to do what he did against them.
You know what, Dev? What impresses me about Aaron Rodgers is when you take the attributes of the top 8 quarterbacks in the league, he possesses them all. And one of the things you'll also notice about great quarterbacks, when they step to the line, you're always taught, okay, you take what the defense gives you. But if you notice, your Peyton Mannings, your Tom Brady's, your Drew Breeses, and your Aaron Rodgers, is what they do is they dictate to the defense what coverage and what front they're going to show. And that's something that I noticed. He goes to the line, as you always say, he kind of smirks at the defense because he knows he's going to make them go. He's going to dictate to them what coverage they're going to be in or how they're going to respond to the offensive set.
Yeah, Austin's absolutely correct about that. It's like it's times he walks up to the line and he's laughing, and we sit there watch the game and says, "What is he laughing at?" And Matt, by the way, I got to give you credit because you got like total confidence in your team. You say they're always going to win. Tell that to some other fans on this actual in the war room right now.
Matt, I'm an Eagles fan, so I don't have total confidence.
I too am an Eagles fan. And I get jealous every time I see Aaron Rodgers play and Peyton Manning because we don't have a real quarterback. We just have an athlete.
Whoa, I'm not going to go there.
No, but it is like I love watching Aaron Rodgers play. And now, like this season, it's even better for me because he's on my fantasy team, so I get to openly root for him.
All right, we only want to hear about that, man. By the way, Matt,
I got to let that be known.
Quick, when Aaron Rodgers threw 6 touchdowns, Devin was playing me in the fantasy league, so I really did enjoy that.
Right. All right, Matt. So your team, they have 6 wins right now at the bye week. The remaining schedule consists of at Detroit, at the New York Giants. That should be a good one. Minnesota, Detroit at home, at Chicago, Tennessee at home, and then at Minnesota. Where do you see them finishing? Since the Bears right now are 7-1, and their standing kind of depends on what happens in the game tonight versus the Texans. Where do you see the Packers finishing? Do you see them winning this division or still getting in as a wild card?
Well, I see them winning the division, but here's the reason why. I think they'll beat the Lions twice. I think they can beat the Vikings twice, but they're going to have a little trouble against the Bears down in Chicago. But
let me give you my preseason Super Bowl pick. I have the Bears and the Texans in the Super Bowl, but the thing was I had the Bears going as a wild card. I had Green Bay sweeping them in the regular season, but the Bears is gonna take it to you guys in the NFC Championship. How do you see it playing out once the playoffs begin?
I could see it going down to that. If it goes down in like Green Bay or Chicago, I mean, it's going to be like it was back in 2010, like 21-14 win.
For it could go either way. But do you have the Packers winning the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, exactly, absolutely.
Okay, I mean, hey,
this is a Packers super fan, so we didn't
This
expect
is
him to say
a
anything.
super fan.
We didn't expect you to say anything else, man.
see, but the only thing about it, Jimmy, is his team is good enough to have that kind of confidence. So, I kind of envy him. So, hey, it is what it is. So you heard it here first, unless you were listening somewhere else where you heard it. But Matt Ogden, Packers super fan, he says the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Who do you think they'll be playing in the Super Bowl?
I think I can see them going 1-on-1 against the Texans again.
Okay. So we got a rematch of the Texans. B. Austin, before we wrap up, how do you see the season playing out for the Green Bay Packers with their remaining schedule?
I have them winning the division due to the Jay Cutler factor. I think that Jay Cutler will inevitably hurt the Bears at a time and point where they need him most, and they'll end up getting in as a wild card. So I do see the Bears going in as a wild card. I've got the Packers winning the division, and then the weaknesses with the defense, that's going to rear its head. Woodson is still a tremendous playmaker at his age, but I don't see him playing at the very tip top or pinnacle. I still see him kind of on the downslide. Matthews is a baller. Sam Shields is a baller, but the middle of that defense kind of gives me some questions along with their middle or inside backers. So, that's kind of my breakdown. Special teams wise, they're okay. They're not great. So they rely heavily on that offense for success.
Okay. Jimmy, what are you saying finishing?
I will say a couple things about Jay Cutler, but we do like to keep it clean and do not like to use foul language inside the war room. So I'll just say, actually, my preseason pick was the Patriots and the Packers in the bowl. So I'll stick with that just for the sake of sticking with my preseason pick.
Okay, I'll let you guys know that Jay Cutler is my backup fantasy QB, and I got to ride with him tonight since the Packers are on a bye. So I hope the stuff that you guys are saying doesn't happen right now. But Matt, before we wrap this up and get you out of here, of course, we have to let the audience know where they can get in touch with you on social media. Matt runs a YouTube page where you can see all his Packer videos. Give him all your information, bro. Tell him where to find you.
All right, on Twitter you can follow me at Matt Ogden 1993, and on YouTube you can see my videos. Look up Overdriven Katana.
Okay, and be sure to make sure you guys subscribe to the War Room Sports YouTube page, and make sure you leave comments on our videos because we do comment back. And this episode has been a wrap, and until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity and be steadfast in that war against ignorance. Peace.
Peace.
Wait, it's the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys, diversified and educated.